Hello everybody and welcome back to Rule the Waves 2 as Japan. So we are continuing our bout of peace, mostly because our major enemy that we would possibly take on, which would be Russia right now, given the fact we have no allies, is in a treaty with Russia. I know you can't see that because it goes off the edge of the screen, but I can see it on my other screen. They're in a treaty with each other to contain me. Even though we were friends with Great Britain for however long we were friends for, and it was quite a while. But it looks like that doesn't matter. So we are just riding the edge of war with both these powers to keep our budget up and building up, really. Right now we are doing the promised rebuild or refit of all of our major ships, like our big boys. While doing that, we're also building up our new generation of cruisers, our light and heavy cruisers. We have our new Hosho class fleet carriers, as well as basically replacing our old destroyers with the new 2,500 ton variants. And yes, somebody did post on the channel that technically these new destroyers have a older director, because we have the advanced director instead of the improved. But I'll say this: they're 5-inch guns. Their guns aren't their main armament. Let's be honest here. Like in my opinion, a Japanese destroyer, its main armament are those torpedoes. Even more so now that we have above deck reloading torpedo. We have reloads for those torpedo tubes. Those are the main guns. Those are going to be the damage dealers. That and the anti-aircraft guns. That's my opinion on here. So it's not as big of a deal. I mean, yeah, it was kind of a screw up on my part, but it's not at that big of a deal. We are in a deficit by over 4,000 a month, but next in a few months we will have these light cruisers off the out of the slips, and then very soon after that we'll also have the first of these heavy cruisers off the slips, which will save us enough money that I think we can actually go ahead and build a new battleship, or a new dreadnought, or a new battle cruiser. Probably battle cruiser. I want speed, I want flexibility, not necessarily a big, because we haven't really done a lot of straight up brawly fights. That's just not how our tactics have panned out, so I don't think we're going to keep playing in towards that European ideal right now of big decisive engagements with surface combatants. I think we'll go for using the battle cruisers. The battle cruisers are still useful because they're fast, which means we can use them in cruiser actions and, possibly raiding in the future, that kind of stuff. So we definitely want to do more battle cruisers, especially given the fact that we are not too far in the behind in the second tier, like the second string powers. Like France has the same amount of dreadnoughts as we do. Now they are building a new one, but we're not too far behind Russia and Italy, and some of those are pretty old as well. Really, it's just the first string powers that are kind of overdoing it, with almost 20 for the United States. So yeah, I'm thinking battle cruisers, but we'll see once we get through here. We'll see what the game throws at us. But let's go to the next turn. Spy from Germany has been discovered. Handle it quietly. We don't want to rock the boat too much. Technology sharing with Italy has been of great benefit. Our research in naval aviation lighter than air. Okay. And our scientists report they're currently baffled by the problems of air-sea rescue. Ooh. Okay, Germany's putting down a lot of subs. Russia's scrapping some old destroyers. Yeah, nothing too much. Some of our squadrons are being re-equipped with the Nakajima Zero. And also some of our flying boats are being re-equipped to the newer ones. Okay. Okay, 3 more months for these two light cruisers, which I'm really looking forward to. I like these light cruisers. Those 6-inch guns and turrets are pretty nice. And we do have quite the torpedo loadout as well as mines, which is pretty cool. But yeah, our income is good enough right now. We can go with what we've got for a while. Are we building any subs? We're not. We're gonna also have to build some subs. I want a really good sub force for the next war, because France taught us that those are very important and help us a lot in trade warfare. Let's go to the next turn. The steel industry wants a stronger navy. They want you to help convince the prime minister to increase naval expenditure. What do you do? The navy is not a tool for increasing their profits. Yeah, that would increase tensions. We can't do that. Even though it would give us a budget, we're just going to go for the prestige. Also, giving us a little bit more prestige will allow us to take a hit to prestige when we want to decrease tensions the next time that pop-up comes up. So, okay. Our technology sharing agreement with Italy has been of great benefit to our research efforts in AP projectiles. Okay. We also got research breakthrough, torpedo tech, improved gyroscope, improves torpedo reliability. That's good, because we have missed a couple of torpedo shots. So that's something. More re-equipped. Great Britain's commissioned a lot of light ships. A lot of air bases have finished expanding their capacity, which is good. That was some cash that we were spending on that. It brought us down below 4,000 a month, which brings a lot of our air bases up to 60, which is good. Most of these are on reserve, and we are going to reserve our airship bases as well, because those probably cost a lot. Airship base, reserve. Airship base, reserve. We might scrap some of those at some point as well. Okay, we got all those reserved. Now let's look at the Hokkaido air base, air groups. Does anybody have 60 aircraft? It doesn't look like it. Nobody's above that. But then again, everybody's reserved. We'll let it go for a while. It'll give us like an auto-generated one, then we'll modify from there. Because the game is usually pretty good, because it's not like random. They're usually pretty good about creating like a decent squadron. And then we'll kind of modify from there with what I want specifically, because I do want a lot of bombers. The problem is that we don't have dive bombers yet, which is kind of a major component for at least land-based and carrier-based aircraft squadrons, because those dive bombers give you really accurate, kind of like, whereas a torpedo is more like a bludgeon, a dive bomber is more like a scalpel, in the way that it can just knock out a ship really pinpoint-wise, though at a higher risk to itself. Which, okay, new torpedo bombers being developed. We don't have dive bombers yet, do we? Oh, no, we do. Okay. When did I miss that? It was 2 years ago. That couldn't have been that long ago. Okay. Well, first things first. Okay, dive bombers coming in there. New flying boat is being implemented. Let's do a new medium bomber. Okay. Medium bomber. I want toughness and bomb load for a medium bomber. Do I want toughness and bomb? Well, let's think. First priority. First priority of a medium bomber. We could do range and bomb load. It would make them less tough, so easier to be shot down. No, we need the range, though. We need a long-range bomber, so we're going to implement that. Even though, yeah, they've been pumping out quite a few. The Mitsubishi Corporation have been pumping out a lot of variants of this one. We'll get a new one just to see what we get. So we'll get that one going. That's something I need to look into for my carriers. Full-sized carriers like the Andronus. Let's look at the air groups for the Andronus. Okay, quite a few torpedo bombers. We're going to change role to dive bomber for you, and change role dive bomber. Now, these smaller ones, do we do that? Well, yeah, we are. Change role for each of these to dive bomber, so we've got an equal amount of all 3 types of aircraft on board. The Toyo will be making this one light on the dive bombers. This will also help our current deficit of torpedo bombers. Change roll. Dive bomber. Okay. That's good. Alright. We'll see what it generates for the new air bases here soon, and then we'll probably copy that over, and it'll include a dive bomber on board. Even though from what I'm looking at, the dive bomber right now isn't the best. It's got a 500-pound bomb on it, but if we get some newer ones here, after we get the medium bomber out, we'll have a better bomb load that we can then use. And also, it's unlimited ammunition for the bombers. Torpedoes are limited on ships, so that's something. All right, let's go to the next turn. A new research area discovered. Our scientists report that they have discovered an exciting new research area of radar and electronics. That will be good. We need to look into that. Hey, quality 0 9-inch guns. That's going to be nice. New U.S. torpedo bomber called Lockheed Helldiver is entering service. So we're going to be faster than our fastest torpedo bomber. Yeah. The Okasuka Corporation company has developed a fighter as a private venture. They want to know if we're interested in buying it. Well, let's see. Right now we've got the Nakajima 0. So let's see here. So that'd be the Ryusai? The Ryusai? I don't know. The Okasuka Ryusai. Faster. Better cruising speed. Range is better in all 3 brackets. Firepower is the same. Maneuverability is the same. Toughness is the same. And it's got a heavy bomb load. That's an all-around better fighter. Yeah, that is an all-around better fighter. And its reliability can't get any worse. Yeah, I don't see a detriment in taking on that. Yeah, okay, we'll accept that. That really sucks for some of these air bases because they're just being re-equipped with the zeros. Okay, 1 more month for you, 2, and then we'll be down. I mean, we'll still be in a deficit, but not as bad of a deficit, and we'll be closer to being in the black with the new heavy cruiser. So that's good. Just double check. What's our point total? 9, and this is 9 as well. Okay. So it's 12, I think, is 12 or 11 is the war limit. So we're getting, it's better. So we got that going for us. Let's keep going. Industrial production is soaring as new methods and technology are introduced. Hey, there we go. That puts us almost up to 400,000. Our new light cruiser is commissioned in the Navy, and the other one is commissioned in the Navy. Top Spy managed to get hold of blueprints of a French light cruiser. Okay. All right, we have more guns than they do. We've got an extra turret on our arm. Maybe... Actually, not sure. We might have... Okay, ours is different orientation. Their pursuit arm, or the armament in the rear, like their aft armament is heavier, while our fore armament is better because we got a superimposed turret in the front, so we have 6 guns in the front, 3 in the back. Also, their torpedo tubes are split between two tube mounts instead of 4 2-tube mounts, while ours are 2 4-tube mounts. So we have less redundancy, but we have a bigger, like, if we get a shooting solution with one of those arrangements, we're firing off 4 tubes. Our mines are the same. I think ours are less... Yeah, we have less speed. We're 31 instead of 32. Okay. We have more anti-aircraft guns than they do, though. All right. And we have more... No, we have the same amount of tertiary armaments, or secondary armaments. We've got 6-inchers, 3 of them. We've got 3 6-inchers, yeah. And they've got 3... reverse. 6 3-inchers, dual purpose, and they have 6 3-inchers. So these are pretty comparable, just different layouts. It's good to know. Our technology sharing agreement with Italy has been of great benefit to our research efforts in naval aviation lighter than air. We don't really use that much. I'm even thinking about scrapping some of the lighter than air, like airship bases. Our scientists report that they have suffered a temporary setback in figuring out the concept of bulbous bow. Our scientists report that they are currently baffled by the problems of sound locating devices for submarines. Ugh. Improved airship diesel engines, improved airship performance. Okay. German medium bomber called the Focke-Wulf FW-112 is entering service. It is going to be faster than our fastest medium bomber. Medium bomber speed's not as big of a deal for me. I care about the overall range that they have, toughness, and bomb load. Sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. I'm not sure if that's the, optimal thing to do, but that's, my mindset. Okay, yeah, we're only 900 in the hole a month now, so that's good. We'll be definitely positive once this first heavy cruiser comes off the production line. And we've got not too long before these destroyers are ready, and these carriers are coming out pretty quick. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to, because I'm thinking... Okay, here's what we're going to do. Once the first of the Takawa class comes off the slips, we're going to design a new battle cruiser, because by the time we deal with the feasibility study of that, the Simpson should be off of her refit, or his refit. And the second Takawa, as well as the second Simpson, the Tsukuba, will both be almost out of their respective build times. So I'm hoping at that point we'll have enough spare we can start building a new battle cruiser without being in the black. That's the plan. So we got 4 months before that happens. So we got to, but I want to start designing it once the first heavy cruiser comes off the slips, because it'll have a feasibility study time, and by the time that's done, we should be close enough that we can go ahead and put it on being built, at least one of them. And not be in the red is what I'm hoping too much. We'll see. So next turn. 16-inch guns, better quality. So quality 0 is good. All right. Our unrest level's getting kind of high, probably because of our naval spending. But not much we can really do about that. Next turn. Italian governors often sell us the rights to 10-inch guns for quality 1. We have the money for it, and those 10-inchers can be equipped on quite a few ships, including our heavy cruisers. And I would like better quality guns, so yes, we're going to take that. Because right now we're at -1 quality. Gun manufacturers now ready to produce improved 10-inch guns. Torpedo Protection 4 enables torpedo protection 4 on ships, that's good. Improved 20mm automatic cannon, improves light AA effectiveness, nice. Okay. Intelligence report. There are reports that Russian scientists have invented improved watertight hatches. There are reports that Russian scientists have invented improved AA automatic cannon, so they just got... so we're basically on par with anti-aircraft guns with the Russians. It's good to know. Sorry, I'm drinking my tea, keeping my throat from drying out. Okay. Let's keep going. Next turn. Technology sharing agreement with Italy has expired. Okay, it didn't really give us that much, let's be honest. New light cruiser finished her working up, and the other one finished her working up. Scientists report that they are well on their way to understanding electronic elevation and training. Okay. Has less aircraft than capacity. Do you want... yes. Yes. Oh, medium bomber. New medium bomber. Germany's just pushing these things out. Dornier DO-111 is entering service. We're going to be faster. So the Germans are going for fast medium bombers. New torpedo bomber, the Mitsubishi Manazuru, is ready for operational service. Okay. Alright. One more month, and then we'll start our build of a new battlecruiser. I want to check the air groups, by the way. So 60 What do we got? Dive bomber. Yeah, so we're putting 14 dive bombers in there, 14 torpedo bombers, and then the secondary aircraft each have 11. Yeah, I actually like that loadout. That's good. That gives us our two major damage dealing, like mid-range aircraft. The torpedoes and dive bombers have a similar amount per. A small fighter contingent to help against like raids, etc. for a cap, and then the medium bomber, which will have a heavier bomb load, has less aircraft. That's good. And then the flying boat for scouting. That is very good. Good to know. Okay. One more month there. I want to check ships in service because these new ones are AF. We can go ahead and place them on reserve. Yes. That saves us a little bit of money. Okay. One more month. Okay, new heavy cruiser, Takawa, commissioned in the Navy. Italian government is offering to sell us the rights to 18-inch guns of quality 0. Ooh. No, this thing is we don't use those kinds of guns that often. So no, we're not going to take it. And also it's very expensive, and we're going to need a lot of money for this new battlecruiser design, I can tell. Our scientists have made unexpected advances in hull construction. So improved welding, 1% savings on hull. Electronic elevation and training, so gradual national rate of fire improvement, and that's good. Our scientists have made unexpected advances in naval aviation lighter than air, and are currently baffled by the problems of air-sea rescue. Okay, new dive bombers are getting put into service in various air bases. Okay, here's what we're going to do. One, I want to go to research because I've forgotten for the last couple of times and I haven't said anything. We're going to make this a high priority because that's important. I'm going to go ahead and place naval guns on medium to balance it out a little bit. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, and then we're going to go to our design. We're going to see what it spits out and then modify. New battlecruiser. Right, we have the all-forward armament thing now. Sorry. I just had a mouthful of tea. Weight-wise, it's pretty heavy. It's also very slow for a battlecruiser, in my opinion. Insufficient topside AA space, less torpedo protection than available. Okay, so let's go to 4 torpedo protection. Let's figure this out. 16-inch guns. We can bring these down to 8 3-inchers because we're going to have a lot of topside AA guns. The 5-inch guns and double turrets, we can bring those down to 10. Box protection for magazines. Hold on. Belt and deck armor halved in other areas. See, the question is, do we want to do that? Now, we could go ahead and make this unit machinery as well, which will make it engine hits less likely. This protects our magazines. Turret's top, we're going to go for 5 inches on there. Good torpedo defense. Can we pump this up to 33 knots? I just want to check what these new destroyers can do. This will make it almost as fast as the destroyer. For reference, a brand new destroyer. It's also incredibly expensive to make. Flight installations. Do have... Could make an aft catapult. Okay, hold on. Port and starboard aft catapults. Okay. Seaplane hangar. You get 2 seaplanes on this thing. make it an actual modern ship. Deck of 4 inches. Which means this thing's has no immunity against 16-inch guns. So plunging fire will be deadly to this thing. 4-inch deck is basically nothing. Turret's top being 5 inches, secondary guns having a 4-inch. So against the big boys, it's going to be pretty damn useless. Let me drop it down 32. Let's bring the deck up to 5 inches. Do we have any immunities now? We have an we have an immunity at 24,000 yards. Against 16-inch guns, but everything else we're not taking it. Well, if that's the case, then catapults. I think. See, okay. Here's my conundrum here. I like my battlecruisers having a bit of staying power because they're a big investment. But if they're fast, that makes them hard to hit. That makes them hard to deal with and get in and out of fights really damn quick. I mean, an equivalent dreadnought at this age is still only going to be chugging along at a like 20, 25 knots. So this thing's going to outpace it by a lot. So, I mean, if we wanted to, we could put the deck back down to like maybe 5.5. Pump this up. And put the... where the hell did that extra weight go? Just pump it down to 4. And 33 knots. A quick, big ship with 9 16-inch quality 0 guns. We could do that. It's an experiment. It may not work. We could like get more weight out of it, but I like having these seaplanes because if it comes down to it, we can use the seaplanes as a forward scout force if we don't have an attached seaplane like carrier or an actual aircraft carrier. Yeah, we're gonna try this. We're gonna try it. I know there's gonna be a lot of people in the comments with their own opinions on this, but I think this is the best thing we could do right with what we've got. So we're gonna save this. The Kurama class. All right, this is gonna be expensive to make. Yeah, very expensive. Okay, by the time that's done, both of the Simpsons should be ready, and we can build one of these, which is kind of the reason I wanted to wait. But looking at the time, though, I think this is going to be the end of this episode. So thank you for joining me for this episode. If you liked it, please leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. If you want to support the channel, consider the subscribe button down below, as well as take a look at the description down below, where I have links to my Discord and my Patreon page. I'll see all of you in the next episode. Bye!